So let us understand the map of this trek now. As you can see, I have zoomed into the Himalayan landscape. This is the Seema campsite, and our trek would start from Gangad village. This is the Gangad village, and we came up from here from Taluka to Gangad. From Gangad, the walking actually starts. Now, the first halt was at Seema, which is around 4 kilometers from Gangar, and then we walked further towards the right. I mean, the next stop would be Baslow Thatch, after Kalkatidar, and Baslow Thatch is somewhere over here. This location you can see Baslow campsite. Now, the thing is that from Seema to Baslow campsite is almost 12 kilometers, and this is the longest walk because it is on the incline. And on the way you get to see Kalkatidar, from where the Ruinsara valley is also visible. This side, this is the Rainbasera campsite, and the Ruinsara Taal is over here to the bottom. So after from Baslow Thatch we moved ahead to Halche valley. This is the Baslow campsite, and from there this is the Halche valley over here. We did not go to Maninda lake, which you can see over here, due to our health not being in a good condition. And the Swargarohini peak, this is the peak over here, it can be viewed from Halche, this area. So from Halche, the Baslow Thatch is around 2 kilometers, 2 to 3 kilometers away, where we camped. And the next day from Baslow Thatch we came to Rainbasera campsite, which is on the opposite side to Kalkatidar, and this green area you are seeing is Devsu Bugyal, which we will be coming on our return journey. From Rainbasera campsite, Ruinsara Taal is almost 9 kilometers. It is on the incline. The height of Ruinsara Taal is almost at the same level of Halche, which is around 11,700 feet. So from Ruinsara Taal, on the last day we came to Devsu Bugyal. As you can see over here, this is a wonderful meadow. One must camp over here, and one must also not miss Ruinsara Taal when you are coming to Halche. This Taal is just excellent with its views. And from Devsu Bugyal, on the final day we came back to Gangar through Taluka. That's it. That was the end, and let us get back to the trekking video now.
Early by 5 am in the morning and had quickly set off for Sankri. We had reserved a four-wheeler for us, but if you want, there is a state bus service also available from Dehradun to Sankri. It would be a 240-kilometer journey for us via Dehradun and Mussoorie. We took an early stop at Khaira Punjabi Dhaba, which was on the highway and had wonderful facilities not only for the food but other amenities like toilets, kids zone, parking, etc. So we had a light breakfast there and freshened up before continuing further. The roads were quite smooth, and especially for people like us who stay in hot and humid plains of India, the thrill of gaining altitude has a special place in our hearts. The very sight of curved roads, river passing by, distant hills, terraced farms and chirping hill birds brings unimaginable amount of relief to us. The Yamuna river was flowing alongside us till Nagaon, from where we parted ways further to the left. So we have just stopped by to have lunch on our way to Taluka. As you can see, the weather condition, it has been raining while we were on our way to this place. The weather predictions were also as such that there will be rainfall, but we have to embrace the situation and see what it has to offer. As of now, we will be having a very slight lunch, maybe just a bit of Maggie or something, and we are enjoying this beautiful view, the terrace farms, the small hills, the pine forest over there, and the weather condition. See, we can literally see the rain falling. You see these straight lines, these are nothing but rainfall happening at that distant place over there. So I think it will be another 2 hours before we reach Taluka, take some rest, and then get ready for the trek which will be happening tomorrow.
The Tons River joins us from Mori, which is visible till Netwar along the road. The condition of the road is also quite good till Mori, after which it gets a bit rough. However, the scenic beauty of the journey gets you to Sankri in no time.
So we have reached Sankri, and it has started raining, as you can see. So we have taken shelter in a small hut-like location over here. From here we are going to we'll be going to Taluka today itself, where we'll be staying overnight and then start our trek the following day, that is tomorrow. But it has been raining, since the last 2-3 hours, and tomorrow's prediction also shows rain. So let's see. Hopefully in the morning it will be okay. The journey to Sankri was good, but the driver was not good. I mean, he did a lot of rash driving, and because of which one of our the trekking members started vomiting. So these drivers should understand these things, basic things. I mean, we come to mountains quite often, but we never found such rash driving, especially in the bends where he was driving quite fast, taking that bends quite fast. So it's not good really. But anyways, now that we have reached, let's hope the following 7-8 days will be good for us. So we are loading our luggage from Sankri, and now in this vehicle we will be going to Taluka. चलो घुस जाओ.
4 हो जाएगा देखो.
हाँ,
हो जाएगा ना.
3 तो हो ही जाएगा.
10 किलोमीटर है.
हाँ,
देख लेता हूँ.
3 तो हो जाएगा.
अब आपका.
The road to Taluka, as expected, was a good one, with a few rough patches here and there, and waterfalls to pass through. We could feel the intensity of the trekking journey ahead as we inched closer to our base camp destination for the trek. As soon as we reached there, I did not waste a moment in exploring the view of the surroundings from the above. Since we did not know when it would start to rain again, it is best to make full use of the clear weather window that we had in our hand. We started exploring the small village as soon as we reached there, and kids from all around started to flock towards us. My uncle spent a good time with them, distributing sweets. There is a forest rest house here as well, and we started clicking some amazing photos of the locals here and kept on observing the activities of the small yet happening place. Having enjoyed our brief evening in Taluka, we went to bed early after dinner, hoping for a clear weather the next day.
Absolutely beautiful morning here. This is the first day of our trek. We'll be going towards Osla or Seema village, and it looks a good weather till now, but we know that rain might be coming in the later afternoon, so we'll not waste any time. We'll have a quick breakfast by around 7:30 and leave by 8 so that we can reach the destination early. There'll be a 4 to 5 kilometers of jeep drive, and then there'll be another 4 kilometers of walking. We just hope that the weather will be fine. We have just started exploring the trail, so this will be nice. Yesterday night was comfortable. This accommodation was really warm, so we are feeling fresh. And let's hope the coming 6-7 days will be fine, you know. Namaste. हाँ ब्रेकफास्ट के लिए और पैक लंच हो जाएगा.
पैक लंच तो करना ही पड़ेगा.
अच्छा 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 ठीक है कर दीजिए.
मैंने 1000 इंडिया में देखा. 200 का ये कब ना था यहाँ बोलना था दिन की दूर था. नौरा भी ये एक दूर वहाँ से गाड़ी आई. करने हमें जाना बड़ा आगे था. अरे देखो ना ये लोग खुले नहीं दे नाराज.
भाई जी भट्टी पे पानी पड़ रहा है, खराब तो नहीं होगा.
गोली में आता हूँ. हाँ
Yeah, the rain has started, eh? Hey! Today in the morning it was such a sunny weather, and then suddenly it has started raining. It's been raining for the last 45 minutes. We just had our breakfast. Let us see if when the rain stops, we'll start our journey. But these are really overcast conditions over here. There's not much of a wind, so that is another trouble, because you won't flush out the clouds. Now we are returning to our room. We have our bags packed. And I'm just keeping my fingers crossed so that this rain goes away and we reach our destination for the first day.
We should have started by now, but because of the rain had to halt for some time. So we gladly used this time in distributing clothing and utensils amongst the needy people of the village here. Many people from our neighborhood in Kolkata Ahiritola area had donated these, and it has now become a ritual for us to do this activity on our trek. We must highlight an interesting fact here. We observed that while distributing these donations that none of the dwellers had accepted anything extra which will not serve their immediate needs. Like any clothing which is oversized or undersized was not accepted by them, and they had gladly referred to others from their community. This brings forward the importance of coexistence and living on basic needs at such a place where availability of luxury is a distant thought only. By this time, the weather had cleared up considerably, and the shepherds were seen to move their herd towards greener pastures above in the valley. We were overjoyed at this sight and had started stretching ourselves to get ready for the trek. However, we did not take into consideration another factor which could potentially delay our start further. It was not long before Kamal Thakur, our organizer, intimated us about the slippery road ahead, which was preventing any vehicle to go to Gangad village. New road construction was going on, and the rain had made a very slippery and muddy mixture on the road, which only 4-stroke engines can negotiate through.
गाड़ी आ गया?
गाड़ी आगे स्लिप हो रहा है बे।
हाँ?
आगे रोड है ना?
हाँ।
स्लिप हो रही गाड़ी।
Slip?
वहाँ पे भी नया रोड बना ना?
उधर?
चढ़ाई में ना लाल मिट्टी डाल दिया।
हाँ।
वो तो पूरा टायर स्लिप हो रहा है तो।
So the wait got longer. However, our permits for entering Govind Pashu Vihar National Park and Sanctuary was made from Sankri Forest Office. It was a boring few hours wait for the vehicle which was making round trips and carrying tourists to and fro from this area. We again made good use of this time to explore the local handloom, which was used only for their own consumption. They were making cardigans kind of clothing for the winters.
आज हम लोग को ऊपर जाना है। हरकिदुन वो जो सीमा तक जाना है, तो बारिश आ गया। अभी वो कमल भाई गाड़ी ठीक कर रहा है, गाड़ी ला रहा है, तो ऊपर चलेंगे।
Finally, after a lot of delay, our vehicle arrived, and we were too much excited to start our journey. We could see from Taluka that a lot of vehicles were stranded at Dhatmir village. It was this area where the road was filled with mud and vehicles were slipping pretty badly. When we finally reached the place, we could see how difficult it was to cross the area. Each vehicle was keeping a considerable distance between each other to avoid any collision due to slipping. The vehicle was supposed to drop us at Gangad village, but due to extremely bad road conditions, we had to get off at Darkot village, which was nearly 2 kilometers away from Gangad.
So we have started walking. We came up till here by a 4-stroke vehicle, and now the real trek starts. So today we hopefully will be reaching Seema and stay overnight there and then move ahead tomorrow. The surroundings are full of pine trees, the other side of the mountain across the river, and mainly villages are on the right hand side of the river till now. I think going ahead Osla will be on the left side, but till now everything is on the right side of the trail. Well, there is a lot of construction work that is going on in this area, as you can see. It's good for the local people. Of course it is very good, and these are required also, but much like in Sandakpur, where people can reach by 4-wheelers and trek at the same time, looks like this area is also going to be something of that kind.
We now took the shortcut route to reach Gangad village. This village is at an altitude of around 6,600 feet above sea level. It was a steep decline, and all the way we could watch the village down beside the river. We avoided the muddy road, which saved us crucial time, almost around 30 minutes. We also came across the locals from other villages who come here for the day's work and return by early evening. But few stretches were really tricky, as it had loose rock and soil with very steep decline.
So we are leaving Gangad village to our left hand side, and now we are walking up the trail. Our destination for today will be Seema. Let's see how far we can reach. Suddenly the clouds have also started to come in. We just hope that by the time we reach, there is no rainfall. Beautiful village. Picture perfect setting. So this happens to be the first stop. We'll be having some tea. A lot of other trekkers are also here. So we have started our walk from Gangad towards Chillungad, and as we are walking on the right side of the river, you can hear the noise. It's flowing quite fast on my left hand side below. We can see a lot of barren rock faces on the left side of our trail, I mean on the left side of the river, while on the right hand side the tree coverage is quite good. Well, it's a 2-kilometer distance from Gangad to Chillungad, and from Chillungad to Seema is another 2 kilometers. Let's see how fast we can reach there. But we are enjoying the beauty on the way. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Just look at the trail ahead. ये चिलुंगड़ आ गया ना। So we have reached Chillungad. The campsite is just below, but we will be going head towards Seema, and we are just taking a 5 minutes halt over here. You can see we are sitting and relaxing, but the trail is really beautiful with the Supin river flowing just by our side. It's so refreshing and beautiful sceneries on the way. Feels excellent. I mean, one of the best treks I've done till date, and this is just the first day. So we have reached Seema, and it's going to rain any moment now, so we are trying to find our camp. We have not found it out yet. It's a small area. There are forest rest houses here. It was a wonderful walk. I mean, 4 kilometers from Gangad, 2 kilometers from Chillungad, but it was worth it. So beautiful. The trail is absolutely beautiful, especially because of the river that flows all by your side. You know, this was our first day. We don't know what's going to happen in the next few days, but it's surely going to be really awesome. And rest over here, go about the place, discover a few things, explore rather. Everything is already discovered. So let's see. Let's find out where our tent is. Still can't find it.
I did find our tent. It was near the forest rest house. Beautiful location, just by the side of the river. Our team members were relaxing, and I have a habit of interrupting such candid moments, which bring out candid reactions also. So hear it.
ভালোই হাঁটছে অনফিট এই অনফিট হাঁটছে যে মিস ল্যাট পাবো না তুই এগুলো বাজে সব সময় একটা ফোনে লাগাতে স্বভাব হয় দিকে যা
After reaching the campsite, it is extremely important to do some stretches and drink a lot of water to avoid cramps in the body. So it was mandatory for us to do the same at each one of the locations. It was a very small location where you could only explore in the north-south direction, because on one side there was the river and on the other side steep mountain walls. So our seniors decided to have some gossips, better known as adda in our language. However, I did not waste any time to enjoy the beauty from above and have a bird's eye view of the area. Let's enjoy the scenery now with some photos in the end. The next morning we had to start early as it would be a very long day. There was almost a 12 kilometers walk that day. So after enjoying the breakfast and offloading our bags, we started the day's trek. After crossing the famous Seema Osla bridge on the Supine river, there is a good incline for almost 1 hour. And it does take a lot of energy right at the beginning itself. We kept a constant pace in our trek and sometimes stopped to gather some breath and enjoy the view as we kept gaining altitude.
So we have started walking from Seema to a place which will be around 2 kilometers before Harkidum, where we will be camping. We have done the tough part by climbing that steep incline for almost half an hour, and now the trek is absolutely pleasant. We are enjoying the views of this waterfall on the right side of the river, while we are on the left side. We crossed over right at the start, and the valley is just opening up. Wonderful views in the front of the river flowing right in the middle, and mountain slopes on either sides, birds chirping all around. What else do you need, eh? Absolutely beautiful.
This hut we are seeing contains an age-old system for grinding grains. It uses the flow of water from the stream to rotate the discs on top of each other, which in turn helps in grinding the grain. I had made a separate video on this system while trekking to Pangarchula, in one of the villages there. The route from here on was a pleasant one, with wide sections of the trek routes. We were taking an average time of around 2 kilometers per hour. The weather was overcast, but fortunately there were no rains yet while we were walking. We halted at one of the stalls to have some tea and biscuits. These were locals from Osla village. They come up here daily and walk for almost 4 to 5 kilometers one way and then return back by evening before it gets dark.
So we have almost covered around 4.5 to 5 kilometers from Seema, and the other side of the trail is so beautiful. I mean, a few of the pine trees are light green, the others dark green, creating a wonderful contrast and such a amazing beauty to watch. In certain areas of the trek, the slopes, there are a bit of inclines, but most of it, as you can see now, we are going through a decline now, but most of it till now has been moderate, not that much tough. And this whole trail is filled with a lot of waterfalls, a lot of areas from where you can refill your water bottle, so that's not a tension. And it's as expected. I think after around hours trek we will get to see that valley, which opens up completely. So let's see how the next hour goes. Well, after that serious incline, which we negotiated for almost 40 minutes, we have just come up into this open land. As I was saying, that after about 1 hour or so we will get into the valley. It's a huge expanse. I'll show you just now. My goodness, this is just huge. ओके, तो हम लोग यहाँ पे कहाँ पे है अभी? ये हल्चे में है, और ये जो है कलकतीदार है ये, और ये नदी के उस पार ये जो बुग्याल दिख रहा है ये देवसु बुग्याल है।
सामने दिख रहा है वो,
ये वाला ना, ये वाला। अच्छा, ये जो दोनों पहाड़ के बीच में से चला गया वो कहाँ जा रहा है?
ये रुइंसरा।
अच्छा, ये यही रुइंसरा का रास्ता है। अच्छा अच्छा,
रुइंसरा का जहाँ ग्रीन समझ।
After Halche, we stopped again for some refreshments. Now that we were in the valley, strong winds were blowing and we had to cover ourselves properly to get respite from the bitter cold winds. A cup of tea was the perfect blessing in such conditions. It was also drizzling by now, lightly, and we were honestly scared of walking in the rain from our past experiences. By this time, our mules had also caught up with us, and they easily overtook us to go ahead and reach our camping site way ahead before us, so that we could get ready accommodations on arrival along with some hot beverages.
The trail to Kalkatidar, that is the one which we are passing, the incline has been an impressive one. I mean, by the magnitude of the incline, an impressive one, but not for the trekkers. But at the same time, you can see Devsu Bugyal to our right hand side, and it is a majestic view. The river flowing from beneath. A lot of trekkers are on the way. What a wonderful sight, This is a vast expanse. Just my backdrop is Devsu Bugyal. We will be camping there while on our way back from Ruinsara Taal to Taluka. We have one day over there. This view is just awesome. We have just crossed Kalkatidar, and to our right hand side now Harkidun river is flowing, and from the direction of Ruinsara Taal, Ruinsara river was flowing. Both of them are meeting together to form the Supin river, which we found at Seema, Taluka and so on. And now from here we can see another camping site, Seematra most probably, but we are not going to camp there. We are going to move ahead further, and forgetting the name of our camping site. Anyways, you'll get to know later. The incline to Kalkatidar was again a good one, as I said earlier, and now most of it is either on the same altitude or a bit of decline, so there should not be any problem, and we are expecting to reach our campsite in the next 1 hour or so. Throughout the way, the left hand side, the huge faces of the mountains have been really impressive, and they're covered with grass and small shrubs. We could also see, as you can see, a lot of pine trees now. Here and there rhododendron trees also could be found. Really good trek here, good one. All of these are snow. These are almost permafrost, and our camp is over here because there are a lot of camps over here, so we didn't get space, so we have camped over here. This is such a beautiful landscape.
It was almost 6 hours now that we were trekking, and it neared 2 p.m. in the afternoon also. We walked past the camping site at Baslow Thatch at around 10,800 feet, where all the other trekkers had already set up their tents. This gave us the opportunity to cross the river and set up our camp on the other side. This proved to be an immense blessing, as the beauty of the place was just unimaginable. It was also surrounded by rhododendron trees on all sides, and there were plenty of bird activity there. We could hear the calls of Himalayan Monal for the first time in our trek at this place. This place also provided a clear view of the Harkidun peak, which we found out the next morning. So let's enjoy the beauty of this place now. For all of us, as was the ritual, to stretch ourselves before relaxing into our tents, we did some mandatory but easy stretches. It is a fun filled activity when done in groups together. That evening, we took dinner early and went to bed. The weather was overcast and we decided to start at 6 am next morning so that we could reach Harkidun by 8 am and avoid the clouds. In the morning, however, the cloud was still there. It had not moved. Throughout the night, I did not get to see any stars in the sky. It was completely overcast, and I missed all chances of photographing the Milky Way galaxy from here. We started to walk at 6 am sharp, hoping the weather would clear in the next hour or so. But I was not feeling well. The breakfast of milk and cornflakes did not suit me well, and I was feeling completely drained out from the beginning. You don't feel good if your stomach is upset. However, we kept trekking, and to be honest, it was a consistent incline from Baslow Thatch to Harkidun. At 11,700 feet, Harkidun is not extremely high, it is moderate, and we found a lot of school kids also on this trek route as well. Finally, we landed up in the valley of Harkidun. Trust me, I had no energy left. On top of that, the clouds were settling in much more densely. But I must acknowledge the beauty of the valley was beyond any words. The river flowing in the middle and the Harkidun peak towering just in front of you. You must climb to the top near the forest rest house to get a view of the valley towards the Sargorohini peak and the glacier beyond. It is even more vast. After waiting for almost 2 hours, we were not blessed with Sargorohini peak sighting. However, we did get to see it partly from Ruinsara Taal later after 2 days. This whole trek has only one named peak sighting, and that is Sargorohini. Hence, we were a touch disappointed in not getting a clear view. My uncle and I were also not doing well by now and needed some medicines to get going. But all of them were back at the campsite, so we decided not to go ahead towards Moraine and get back to our camp. Treks will come and go, but we cannot compromise safety at such an altitude where only you can help yourself, and you cannot afford to be a burden on others after making some rash decisions. There was a heavy rain that followed after we returned to camp. It followed with a clear sky for a short while, enough to provide us a window to get a glimpse of the beautiful Harkidun peak and make a time lapse of it. It was accompanied with plenty of opportunities to photograph various hill birds in the area.
today we have started walking from Baslow Thatch to Rainbasera, and from there we will be heading towards Ruinsara Taal if the trail is okay. We had a wonderful time at Harkidun yesterday, and since yesterday evening we could also see all the peaks. You know, there was quite a bit of rainfall in the afternoon and the weather cleared up, so we could see a lot of peaks. And now the trail will be mostly on a decline to Rainbasera. Let's enjoy the view now. So we have almost walked 2 kilometers towards Rainbasera, and the full trail was covered with rhododendron trees and flowers to start with, and then it was the pine forest. It was such a beautiful trail, and now we are going further on the decline to meet the Ruinsara river, beside which we will be camping. And on our right hand side, to the other side of the river, is Devsu Bugyal, where we will be camping in 1 or 2 days time. And as we go down, we can see some notable changes in the tree lines also. We cannot find any more rhododendrons here. It has given way to bhuj plants and some types of pine trees. The trail is completely through a jungle one, and it has been really a beautiful experience till now.
Unlike the Harkidun trail, this trail to Ruinsara Taal is devoid of any tea stalls as on date. The beauty and serenity of the place is beyond comparison. It is the trail that trekkers use to go to Bali Pass. From Ruinsara Taal area, they go further towards the right. Finally, we reached Rainbasera point, and we had to decide whether to camp here or go ahead further by 1 or 2 kilometers to give us an advantage the next day. We decided to go ahead, and it turned out to be really helpful and adventurous at the same time.
Just look at this. It is looking like a burnt out field, but this is actually Moraine. Beneath this there is ice. You might be mistaken. Just look at this. This is complete ice, and there are high chances of slipping. So you have to be very, very careful while you are walking on these areas. ऊपर से जाना है ना? ऊपर से? So we are going back because you can see in the background there is Moraine field, ice field over here. Look, they're telling us to wait. You can see our mules are going from the higher elevation. They went back because they were not able to cross this Moraine field, ice field. We are now taking the higher route. We went previously from this way, and now we are going through this way because the ice field could not be crossed. You can see the condition of the road over here. These are absolutely loose soil and loose rocks over here. And this is the ice field we were talking of, fully covered with moraine, and we had to stop because of this small crevasse over here. It's looking small but it's quite big, you can't jump. And now we'll have to go ahead. Let's see what is up ahead. But first, this loose soil area. You can't afford to stop for a long time because you might fall. Oh god. And you have to cross the ice field. এখানটা কি দাঁড়া, ঠিক আছে দাঁড়াও, ওয়েট করো, এখানটা দাঁড়াও, এখানটা চলে যাও, গিয়ে ওয়েট করো। জায়গাটা খুব ট্রিকি ছিল, এই জায়গাটা খুব মানে লুজ, তো ভালো হয়েছে। ওইটাই যাও, এগিয়ে যাও। আস্তে, এগো। খাঁজগুলো দেখে দেখে পা ফেলো। আস্তে, হড়বড় করবে না, আস্তে আস্তে যাও।
As soon as we reached the campsite, we headed towards the kitchen tent to try our hands at some cooking. My uncle specializes in making a local Bengali cuisine named Piyajer Bati Chochuri, whose main ingredients are potato and onion. At the same time, we were encountering two problems. One was whether we can go ahead further on the road tomorrow because it was broken near a waterfall area and mules might not be able to cross it. That could be only found out the next day. The second problem was more significant as it involved the shoe of one of our team members, Bhutan Kaka. The sole had completely come off, and quite miraculously, we found a savior in Jitendra who had some good experience in shoe repairs from his native place in Nepal. So we quietly retired that day to start our journey the next day with full energy.
So we have started walking from Rainbasera towards Ruinsara Taal. It will be a 7 kilometers hike and mainly on the incline. So we have started at 7:40 am and expecting to reach there by 1:30 to 2 pm because the weather is also overcast, and since the last 2 days there has been rainfall right from 1 pm onwards. So we have started early to avoid the rain, and all through our walk over here, on the right hand side Ruinsara river is flowing, and I earlier mentioned that we could not find what? Shh! Ki? Aste aste! Something has been spotted. বেশি নোড়ো চড়ো না, তুমি বেশি নোড়ো, হাত দেখিও না, হাত নামিয়ে তো আমি দেখে নেবো। কি হয়েছে?
ওই গাছটার ফাঁকতে মোনাল ওই যে সাদা বল।
ওকে 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 সামথিং হ্যাজ বিন স্পটেড, লেটস সি। তোমার নোড়ো না, ঠিক আছে? ঠিক আছে। I think people have spotted something. Monal, Monal, Monal. Wow. It's over there, it can't be seen from here. But what a sighting. Monal. At last we got a view, but I don't have the camera now, so I can't shoot. Yeah, man. Bad luck. Oh, shit, man. Okay, to the right hand side there are a lot of rhododendrons, and wow, man, that's a very pleasant interruption to my vlogging.
This is the place on the left hand side where the mules were afraid of crossing. It was completely broken with no fixed route. There were plenty of stream crossings which had become even more rapid and fast due to consistent rains over the last few days. However, that's the beauty of trekking.
উঠে এসো, এই দিক দিয়ে আসতে হবে, এই দিক দিয়ে আসো, ওদিকে হড়কে যাবে। হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, একদম সাইড দিয়ে এসো, বাঁ দিক দিয়ে একদম ঘেসে। হ্যাঁ, আস্তে আস্তে। হ্যাঁ, ভেরি গুড। We are walking through an area filled with bhuj plants all around, as you can see, and it has almost been over 3 hours of trekking. The incline has been quite consistent. I mean, not too tough, but it has been a consistent one. So we have gained quite a lot of altitude, but we can now see considerable changes in the tree line because of this gain in altitude. So we expect to reach the site in another 1 hour's time. Let's see. what happens. हाँ बाली पास का रूट कौन सा है?
ये यहाँ से जाएगा और ये झाड़ियों में
हाँ झाड़िया
ऊपर धार नहीं दिख रहा है,
हाँ
ये बड़ा पीछे
हाँ
इसके अंदर गली जा रही है, इसके अंदर से
oh ho okay.
अंदर में।
So now we have reached a place just behind this ridge is Ruinsara Lake. Actually we made a small mistake. We have taken the longer route. We could have taken the shorter one over there. But
इसका नाम है लोअर तांगा, ये
क्या है लोअर
तांगा,
ये एरिया
ये सारा एरिया।
लोअर थंगा.
हाँ उसके ऊपर होगा ऊपर का।
अच्छा लोअर थंगा ना पर
Just as we expected that it would rain in the afternoon, a heavy downpour had started and all of us had to cramp ourselves into the kitchen tent for the time being, while our guide and helpers were busy fixing our tent in the rain itself.
one of the favorite foods of Mr. Ashok Sen. So we have reached the Ruinsara Lake. We reached here yesterday. The weather, is really overcast. Today in the morning also the peaks could not be visible in a proper way, but the lake is absolutely clear, and it has been a wonderful experience coming up here at this high altitude, and I got to see and click a lot of birds. Himalayan ruby throat was special for me, along with others. So it has been a good experience. We will be going ahead in that direction, towards that direction, to explore a bit more, try to see a bit into the Bali Pass area. And what else? We have an off day today, so we are enjoying our time over here. Oh goodness me, I'm at such a wonderful place right now. From our camping site at Ruinsara Taal, I've just walked a few, maybe 100-200 feet high in altitude, and to my left hand side over there, that's the trail to Bali Pass, and that in between the two cliffs, that's the way to Bali Pass. And just look at this beautiful meadow which has opened up right in front of us. That's why it is always important. I mean, this was an off day, and it's very important to explore the area as far as your capabilities are concerned. Look at the river that's flowing underneath. Such a beautiful sight. So today was our last day at Ruinsara Taal, and within the next half an hour we will pack our bags and leave for Devsu Bugyal and just look at the majestic view. The weather has cleared up and all the peaks can be seen from here, along with the Ruinsara Taal in my background. And this is exactly what we were hoping for yesterday night when it was raining, that today morning it might just clear up for a few minutes, and that's exactly what has happened. And Mother Nature has gifted us with this wonderful sight. We could not have asked for anything more. This is a perfect ending to our trek, because from now onwards we will be going on the decline and on our return path to Taluka. So this is just an icing on top of this beautiful journey which we were having for the last 5 days. It is excellent. I mean, I'm at loss for words right now, but this is a beautiful feeling. Wonderful. The snow-capped peaks, and look at those ice fields over there. Vast ice fields. Oh my god. Just truly majestic. So we have started our decline to this place, Devsu Bugyal, and it is a continuous decline. We have already been almost half an hour, 40 minutes into our walk here, and we can see changes in the surroundings. Rhododendron trees, again the pink rhododendrons can be seen. We expect to reach, I mean, it's almost 10 kilometers going down today, so we expect to reach in around 4 to 5 hours time. The target is to reach before 12 so that we can avoid any rainfall if there is any. এদিকটা দিয়ে আচ্ছা হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে This is the portion which we have to negotiate, the steepest part of going up to Devsu Bugyal. The incline is quite a lot. It's almost a 30-minute trek, I think. Oh my god, yeah, it's a big one. It's a good incline to reach up to Devsu. And it has started raining in Devsu Bugyal. The whole area, it's been raining for the last 5 minutes. This is just what you don't expect. I mean, while trekking, if it starts raining, things get really damp. Anyways, we are almost there at our campsite. Let's hope that the rain does not get too much powerful now. So we have started our return journey to Taluka. We started around 1.5 hours ago from this camp at Devsu Bugyal, and now we are almost, I think, 3 kilometers into the walk. So it has been a nice trek, and this trail is just to the opposite side of the trail which we took while going to Harkidun. That is the other side of the river. That side you can see the trail which leads to Harkidun. On the first day we took that trail, and now on the last day we are just taking the opposite side of the river. So brilliant views all along the way, birds chirping throughout. There hasn't been any second, I believe you also can hear, there hasn't been any second where we could not hear any birds chirping. Beautiful Monal sightings at Devsu Bugyal. We could hear kokalas also and many other birds, but we could only manage to photograph a few. And now let us enjoy this walk back. We are not taking this route because the road is damaged, so we have to take this steep incline. Oh my god. Let's see.
We were now eagerly returning to Taluka to get some network on our mobile phones and inquire about the well-being of our families back in the cities. We had not been in touch with them for over 8 days now. To sum up, except for not going to Maninda Taal and not being able to see the Swargarohini peak from Harkidun, rest was absolutely beautiful. We enjoyed a lot, and most importantly, we completed the trek without any major troubles. I hope to bring my wife back on the trekking path as soon as my daughter comes of age. She is only 2 years old now. Like all treks, this one also ended on a high note, discussing about what our next trip would be to. Most likely Baghini next May or someplace else, but surely it had to be another trek to the Himalayas. We will end the video with some candid moments photographed during the trek. And thanks for watching.